Welcome my dear students in 4th primary. How are you? I hope you are fine. Now I want to tell you that we knew before the values of digits for a number and how to write and read large numbers. Also, we identified new periods such as millions and billions. دول two periods الجداد معانا السنة دي. And we learned that the value of a digit changes when its place changed. يعني كل ما البليس يتغير الفاليو برضو بيتغير. Now with you Miss Sarah, and today in lesson 3 from unit 1 we are going to learn more about changing the values of a digit, especially when it moves towards the left space in our lesson. Our lesson is called changing values. Okay, so concentrate with me and we will able to describe the patterns as a digit changes value. As usual in each lesson, let's start together with Excel section. Open now your book at page 10. I want you to think. Now if you have two 10 rods, يعني 10 rods and another 10 rods, and we want to know the number of all the cubes. Again, I have 10 rods and another 10 rods. I want to know the number of all the cubes. How can we count them? Yes, how can you count them? Another question. If there is a group of 5 pupils, يعني عندي 5 pupils, and each pupil كل واحد منهم has a 10 rod. عندي 5 pupils أو 5 students كل واحد منهم معاه 10 rod. So what is the quantity will be with the whole group? كلهم هيبقى معاهم كام؟ Can you tell me? Now you can use pictures or writing to show your solutions. Okay? يعني solve it in any way you want. Now I'll give you 1 minute only and come back again to complete. Okay, as you thought, we will calculate the quantity of 2 rods whether by using addition. ممكن أحلها بطريقتين. Using addition like what? ممكن أعمل 10 plus 10. 10 plus 10 equals what? Yes, 10 plus 10 equals 20 of course. Type. And you can solve it in another way by using multiplication. هي مش 10 plus 10 means that I repeated 10 twice or I repeated 10 two times. يعني إيه repeated 10 two times؟ يعني ممكن أعملها 10 times 2. يبقى 10 times 2 gives me the same answer which is what? Yes, which is 20. يبقى these are 2 ways you can solve it. Okay? Type. Now in the second question, when we had a group of 5 pupils, I have 5 pupils and each pupil has a 10 rod. Now to know the number of cubes with the whole group, what should we do? Yes, you may add 10 5 times. يعني هعمل إيه؟ هعمل 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10. Let's see all together. 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10. Why? Because they are 5 pupils. Okay? Gives me what? Gives me 50. Who can tell me the second way I can solve this problem? Yes, I can use multiply by 10. يعني إيه؟ يعني 10 repeated how many times? 5? Yes, I can make 10 times 5. يعني إيه 10 times 5؟ معناها إن ال 10 repeated 5 times equals 50. So these 2 ways gives me the same answer. Okay. Now what if we have a group of 11 pupils? لو عندي بقى 11 pupils and each pupil كل واحد فيهم has a 10 rod. Could you tell me quickly the total number of cubes with the whole group? Yes, of course. Now you can do it in a very easy way. If you thought to add 10 11 times, how do 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10 11 times? It's very long or many steps, so you will take a long time. But if you want to answer quickly, what should you do? Yes, you're going to multiply 10 by what? هي 10 repeated how many times? 10 repeated 11 times. So I will make 10 times 11. Any number times 10. What should I do? I will write the number as it is and only add 0. يبقى 10 times 11 gives me 110. Very good. And for example, if we have a group of 40 pupils, now if I have a group of 40 pupils and each pupil has 10 rods. What should you do? Yes, in a very quick way, you will multiply 40 times 10. Why? Because 10 here repeated 40 times. By the way, 10 times 40 is the same as if I do 40 times 10. In multiplication, if I change the places, it will give me the same answer. So, 10 times 40 equals what? I said any number times 10. I will put the number as it is and only add 0 to be 400. Very nice. Now we knew how the value of a digit changes by multiplying by 10. And you may also see the pattern as a digit changes value when it's multiplied by 10. Let's now start in build section. And look at the essential question by which our lesson starts, how the value of a digit changes when it moves to the left place in a whole number. Now, do you have idea to solve this question? Write it to get sure during our talking about the place value. Okay, let's see the chart then. Now, here's our chart. Let's use the numbers. Now, if you put 5 in the ones, what is its value? Let's see. This is number 5. I'll put it in the ones. Who can tell me? The value of the 5 here is what? Yes, look, 5 in the ones means its value is 5. Okay? Type. If I change its place, if I put the 5 in the 100, then what is the value of the 5? Yes, it will be 500. But what will be its value when you put it in the tens? Let's see. Good. If I put the 5 in the tens, it will be what? It will be 50. Again, if I put the 5 in the ones, it is the value of the 5 is 5. If I put the 5 in the tens, the value of 5 is 50. What about if I put it in the 10,000? Look, where the 10,000? Here. 5 in the 10,000. So what is the value of the 5 here? It will be 50,000. 50,000. Now it's your turn to open your book page 11 activity, and what's my value? Choose any digit from 1 to 9. Then choose 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 or 9 and write it to know its value. When it moves to the left, you notice what? In the place value chart. And don't forget to write the value of the digit in each time you move it. Okay? كل ما تخلي الdigit in different place, write its value. I will give you 1 minute to do this activity and come back again to complete. Make sure of your answers that you wrote the right values for the digit you choose. Okay. Now I'm going to choose digit 4. Then I will write its value in each time. Let's see. Now, here as you see the chart, okay, and my digit is 4. I will choose digit 4 and I will write its value. Now, the value of my digit in the ones place. If I put this 4 in the ones place, look like this. What is the value of 4 in the ones place? Yes, you know it. I'm sure that you know it. The value of 4 in the ones place is only 4. Right. Now, what about if I put this 4 in the tens place? If I put the 4 in the tens place, then the value of it will be what? 4 tenths means 40. Super. Now, what about the value of the same digit but in the hundreds place? Look, if I put the 4 in the hundred place, yani 400. So the value of 4 is 400, but I must write it in digits like this, 400. 100. Okay? Now, what about the value of the same digit but in the thousandth place? Look, here is what? 4,000. محدش يقول لي أبداً this is 4 ones. No, it is in the thousandth house. Okay? Then it is 4,000. So the value of 4,000 is 4 and 3 zeros in digit. Okay? The last one, the value of the same digit but in the 10,000th place. 10,000th place. Look, here 4 is in the 10,000th place. So the value of 4 in the 10,000th place will be 40,000. طب لو في حد متلخبط هو after the 4 I have how many digits? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I must write 4 zeros to be 40,000. Now this form of changing for the numbers we call it patterns. Let's try to understand it more by doing activity with each other in which we will use the place value chart. Let's do it. Okay. Now you're sure remembering these Dennis cubes, which with me, we used to using it in past years, and we used also the pictures to represent the numbers. Look, these cubes, yes, as you see these cubes will help us in this activity. And first thing I want it from you to count with me. Let's count how many cubes here. Yes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Each cube consists of 10 squares, okay? What are we going to do when reaching to 10 in ones? Let's see. If I put this 10 in the ones, great! We are going to gather them to move to the 10 تاني as a whole. يبقى أنا if I have 10 in the ones, يعني إيه 10 in the ones? It means that I have only one 10. Means that I have only one 10, right? طيب, let's count the tens. Here we have 10. Here if I have 10 and if we increase the column tens by more tens, يعني 10 وكمان 10, we will have what? 10, 20, maybe 30, maybe 40, maybe 50 till 100. Okay? طيب, if I have 100, if we reach 100, let's see. 10, 20, 30, yes. Say with me, 40, 50, 60, 70, and 80, 90, and 100. It means what? Yes, if I reach 100 in the 10th place, it means what? Yes, of course, it means that I have 1 in the 100th place. Now you understand the idea very well? Yes? Okay. Are the numbers have a certain pattern while moving to the left? Note the pattern of zeros. You are going to see that 1, when it is moved to the left one place, it becomes 10, right? Meaning it is increased by what? Increased by 10 times. Okay? We can write it as 1 times 10 gives me 10. معناها ان ال 1 repeated 10 times. And when 10 is moved to the left one space, it is increased by what? By 10 times. Meaning that 10 times 10, يعني ايه 10 times 10? يعني 10 repeated 10 times gives me 100. Also, sure, now you notice the pattern of moving to the left, right? And we made sure that as we move to the left in place value chart, we multiply by what? Yes, moving by left or moving to the left side means I multiply by 10. When we did the previous activity, I knew how the value of a digit is changed when it is moved to the left place. We noted that what? We noted that pattern of repetition. We actually practiced one of mathematicians' trails which distinguish their thinking, which is note pattern. Now, let's remember with each other the dense cubes, which we took before, okay? Now, here if I put 10 cubes in the ones, let's count all together. 1, 2, 3, 4, yes, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Again, if I have 10 cubes in the ones, it means what? Yes, 10 in the ones means that I have 1/10, right? 10 cubes in the ones means that I have 1/10, as you see here. Right, fourth primary? Okay, type. If I have 10 tenths, 1/10, 2, 3, 4, count with me, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If I have 10 in the tens place, it means what? Again, if I have 10 in the tens place, it means what? Or it forms what? Yes, it forms only 1 in the 100 place. 100. It forms 100. طيب الكلام ده يعني ايه؟ As you notice here, it means that when I move to the left, I will multiply by 10. I will multiply by 10. يعني ايه؟ يعني ال 10 equals what? Yes, 10 equals 10 times 1, right? 10 equal 10 times 1. So what about the 100? What about the 100? Look, 100 equals what? Yes, 10 times 10. يعني 10 repeated 10 times gives me 100, right? What about the 1000? What about the 1000? يعني إيه أنا عندي 1000? It means that 100 repeated 10 times or 10 times 10. شايفين you notice إيه fourth primary? That as we go one place to the left, I multiply by what? Yes, I multiply by 10. I multiply by 10. Now you understand this point very well? Okay, sure. Now you notice the pattern. You notice the pattern. Times 10 is a pattern, right? Moving to the left. And we made sure that as we move to the left in the place value chart, زي ما احنا عملنا كده مع بعض, we will multiply by what? Yes, we will multiply by 10. Sure, now you notice the pattern of moving to the left زي ما احنا عملنا كده. Okay, and we made sure that as we move to the left in the place value chart, we multiply by what? Yes, we multiply by 10. When we did the previous activity, we knew how the value of a digit changed when it is moved to the left place. And we noticed the pattern of repetition. Again, we noticed the pattern of repetition. Here is notice pattern. Okay, like we actually practiced one of mathematicians' traits which distinguish their thinking, which is what? Note pattern. Note pattern. This is very important thing. At each time we are doing an activity and there's a chance to think as a mathematician, we will add in mathematician chart the trait that distinguish them. By this, you are ready to answer the questions in your book page 12 in activity. Place value relationships. Let's move here. As a digit moves one place to the left in the place value chart, its value increased by what? Exactly by 10 times. Let's revise together. Again, 1 in the tens, its value equals 10, right? And 1 in the 100, its value equals 10 times tens, يعني 100. And also 1 in the 1000, its value equals 10 times hundreds. Okay, طيب يبقى and also we can deduce the rest of values. بقية ال values بقى you can make it alone. خلاص احنا عرفنا moving to the left means multiplying by 10. By now, we reach the Connect section. Now, we reach the Connect section in which we are going to help Omar and Maryam. Did you remember Omar and Maryam? Who found a colony to calculate the total number of ants in all ant hills by using the data and information we have learned in our lesson today. Open your book at page 12. There is a table with 6 problems. The first one, for example, Omar and Maryam. Type. Omar and Maryam found 7 ants in 1 ant hill. Think, how many ants in 10 ant hills? Great! As long as the number of ants equals in all ant hills, so 10 hills will have what? Sure, you will say 10 times 7. Why 10 times 7? Because 10 repeated 7 times equals 70 ants. And you can know if the ant-hill has 92 ants, like the second problem, there will be what? Exactly 920 ants. عملنا إيه؟ عملنا 92 times 10 gives me 920 ants. By the same way, complete the rest of the problems to help Omar and Maryam know the total number of ants in each time. I'll give you 1 minute only to complete the rest of the problems in the book page 12 and come back again. You can make sure of your solution with me. Now let's solve it all together. See? You ready to solve it? Okay, now when the number of ants was 12 ants, here I have 12 ants, as you see, in 1 ant hill. So the total number of ants in 10 ant hills. Again, the total number of ants in 10 ant hills. What should I do? Yes, I will multiply 12 times 10. Why? Because 12 repeated 10 times. And as I said before, 12 times 10 equals what? Any number times 10, I'll put the number as it is and just add 0 to be 120 ants. Okay, if the number of ants in 1 ant hill is 28 ants, if 28 ants in 1 ant hill, so the total number of ants in 10 ant hills, who can tell me? Yes, total number of ants in 10 hills is 28 times 10. Now it's very easy. 28 times 10 equals what? Yes, I'll put this number as it is and put the 0 here to be 280 ants. Again, if the number of ants in 1 ant hill is 156 ants, let's write it. 156 ants in 1 ant hills. So the total number of ants in 10 ant hills is what? Yes, I will multiply this number by 10 to give me, yes, 156 as it is, and add 10 to be 1560. Okay, let's practice more. If the number of ants in 1 ant hill is 1786, let's write this big number, 1786. So the total number of ants in 10 ant hills is what? Yes, I will also multiply it by 10. As I said, any number times 10, I will put the number as it is only. No, I will add 0. Can you read this number? Yes, to be 17,860. Okay, now I hope you understand this very well. Let's complete all together. Now, as our knowledge increased about the place value and how the changing in place of a digit changes its value, Let's now move to the practice section in page 13. And let's start solving the problems which will not differ much from what we trained and knew it. Okay, let's see the practice. This is the practice section. Okay, number 1. He asked me, what is the value of each of the following? He wants 2 in the 10th place, the value of 2 in the 10th place. Yes, who can tell me? Sure, it's very easy. Who can tell me the value of 2 in the 10th place? See, 2 in the 10th place is 20. Okay, then letter B, 7 in the 100th place. What is the value of 7 in the 100th place? It means that it is 700. And I must write it, the value is written in digits. Yes, يبقى 7 in the 100th place, the value of it is 700 in digits. Okay, let's move to letter C. What is the value of 30 tenths? 30 tenths. Sure, you can make it. 30 tenths means 30 times 10, which gives me what? Or in another way, I'll tell you in very easy way. 30 tenths, يعني 30 times 10, or tenths has how many zero? Yes, only 1 0. So 30 and add 0 for the tenths to be 300, right? Okay. Now, what about the value of 60,000? Value of 60,000 is, we can multiply 60 by 1,000, or we can put 60 as it is, and 1,000 means how many zeros? Yes, I have 3 zeros in the 1,000. So 60,000, and I can write the value of 60,000 like this, 60,000 in digits. Okay? Type. Number 2. How does the value of a 7 change as when it moves from the 10th to the 100th place? Again, how does the value of a 7 change as it moves from the 10th to the 100th place? احنا قلنا when we move to the left side or to the left place, what should I do? Yes, it will increase 10 times. So I will multiply by what? By 10. طيب, let's see it all together. يبقى the value of 7 changes as it moves from the 10th place to the 100. يبقى 70 times 100 equals what? Yes, who can tell me? 70 times 100 equals what? It will be 7,000. Right? Okay, now look, fourth primary is moving from 10th place to 100th place times 100 or times 10. Yes, is it right? No, I should make 70 times 10. Why? Why I should make 70 times 10? Because, as I said, moving one place to the right times 10. So, 70 times 10 equals what? Yes, it equals 700. That means 70 times 10 equals 700. Why? Because we move only one place to the left. Okay, now let's move to the third question. Now, choose a number between 1 and 9. Choose any number between 1 and 9. A different number than we used in build. Okay, use this number to complete that chart. Let's see. Type. Each one of you will choose different number. Okay, type. My digit is, I will choose, yes, I will choose number 5. Here, he wants me to write the value of my digit in the ones place. He wants me to find the value of my digit in ones place. The value of 5 in the ones place is what? Yes, the value of 5 in the ones place is 5. And what about the value of my digit in the tens place? The value of the same digit in the tens place. Look, if I put 5 here, the value of 5 here is 50. Okay, what about the value of my digit in the 100 place? The value of my digit in the 100 place. Let's put the 5 in the 100 place. يعني هعمل ايه؟ كأني بعمل بالظبط 5 times what? Again, if I have 5 in the ones place, the value of it 5. 5 in the tens place, 5 times 10, 50. Value in the hundred place, 50 times 10 equals what? Yes, 500. What about the value of my digit in the thousand place? It will be 500 times 10 gives me what? Yes, gives me 5,000. Right? Okay, the last one, you want me to write the value of the same digit in the 10,000 place. 10,000 place هعمل ايه؟ 5,000 times what? Times 10. Right. 5,000 times 10 يبقى 5 beside it 4 zeros to be 50,000. Remember, you must write the value in digits. Okay? طيب, let's complete our lesson. By now, we reached the end of our lesson. You can get more training and deepen your understanding the place value. You can go to the section, check your understanding via the QR code appears ahead of you. Train more and be ready for the next lesson. See you later. Thank you.